Welcome to Vocabulary for Textbooks. I am Jennifer Ledwith of Scholar Ready. At our core, we are a tutoring service that focuses on delivering higher grades in math, reading, and writing, and on higher test scores, specifically PSAT, SAT, and ACT, as well as college prep through a study program that emphasizes literacy above everything. However, we are more than just about improving grades and test scores. We believe in what we do. We firmly believe that education is the most important factor to a person's success. It is that credence that drives us to do what's best for our students. No two students are the same. As a result, we tailor our programs to each of our students to help them to better utilize the skills they are already comfortable with and sharpen those that need a little help. The other week, one of my students who has improved his writing skills expressed that his writing was better because he could understand what he was reading. And he said, you know what? The vocabulary work that we're doing is helping me to understand these words, because one word can change the entire meaning of what I'm reading. When students are in college, it is important that they understand how to use a textbook. For those of you learning or wanting to improve your abilities and skills with using a textbook, you are in the right place. In this video, you will learn how to use vocabulary to understand what you are reading. Here are steps. Number 1, build a word list. Number 2, define the words. And number 3, find examples for the words. The textbook that we are using today in our example comes from Core Knowledge's History and Geography series. Volume 1, A History of the United States, Pre-Colonial to the 1800s. Let's take a small section of the text. I know that when you are assigned reading, typically you're going to be assigned at least a chapter to read. But let's just break it down to a few paragraphs to maybe a page. And let's start with building a word list. In this activity, you are scanning the text for words that are new to you, that look funny to you, that you cannot define. These are the words that you're going to list. Now, of course, the more words you list, the more words that you're going to have to define and find examples for. And of course, that's going to take a lot of work. But guess what? When you do that work, that's going to help you to better understand what you're reading. And eventually, your vocabulary will be so robust that you won't even have to do this activity. So let's look at our words. Some of the words that you may not know are highlighted. For example, indigenous, irrigation, masonry, artisans, rivaled, conquistadors, intrigued, wealth, seas, lured, and weaponry. Now that you have your word list, you're going to write your words on paper. Now, why write your words on paper when you can just write it on your phone or your tablet or your computer? Because when you write the words by hand, you're going to be able to remember the words, the definitions, and the examples more easily than if you just type it in, or than if you just copy and paste definitions from one screen to the other. So what you're going to do is you're going to define the words. To find definitions, of course, you can go to your favorite online search engine, or you can go old school and use a physical dictionary. Here's my work, and I'm going to zoom in on a spiral notebook. and the title is Vocabulary Words, Indigenous People of Central and South America. So I start by writing all my words on my page. You'll see that there. That's the first page of words. And then I define indigenous. Indigenous, describing people who lived in a place from the earliest times or before the arrival of colonists. And then I'll go and define the next word, irrigation, a system for delivering water to living things. Now, what you're going to do is just continue to define all of these words. All right. Once you define your words, then you're going to read the section. Now, this is not skimming, this is reading. And in your reading, if you discover a word that is new to you that you did not write it down and define it and return to your reading. Read the entire section. Once you read the section, I want you to find examples for the words that you've defined. This is going to require you to return to the text. You don't have to just go from memory. Return to the text. This is an open textbook conversation. So indigenous, what are some examples of what we would consider, a person, place, or thing that is indigenous? The Inca, the Maya, and the Aztec. Okay, and what about irrigation? What's an example of irrigation? How the Incas delivered water through its large empire. And those examples are in the text. To sum up, vocabulary for textbooks. Number 1, build a word list. The more thorough, the better. Number 2, define the words. And then after you define the words, read the text. Read that section of text. And lastly, find examples for the words in the text. Thank you for viewing Vocabulary for Textbooks. I am Jennifer Ledwith of Scholar Ready, and to learn more about us, please visit us at www.scholarready.com.